Thank you, Ellen, for making a pioneering impact. And congratulations again. Next, we have our Distinguished Young Alumnus of the Year, David Garlock, class of 2017. This award recognizes alumni who have graduated from Eastern University within the past 10 years for a significant contribution to church, vocation, and community. Distinguished Young Alumni embody Christian values in their work and personal life, and the award recognizes those who are outstanding leaders in their vocation and community and shows promise for future professional growth. David L. Garlock is a powerful voice for criminal justice reform and re-entry advocacy. After serving over 13 years of a 25-year sentence in Alabama, David turned his personal story of survival and resilience into a platform for change. As a client of the Equal Justice Initiative, he transformed his time in prison by pursuing education and ultimately earning his bachelor's degree from Eastern. David has since become a dedicated advocate, working to reform policies around geriatric parole, abolishing death by incarceration, and expanding educational opportunities for incarcerated individuals. He previously served as the Lancaster Program Director for New Person Ministries, where he provided crucial re-entry support for returning citizens. His leadership extends further through his roles on several boards, including the Pennsylvania Re-Entry Council and the National Association for Rational Sex Offense Laws. David is also engaged in research with Yale and Columbia Universities on vaccinations in prisons and continues to educate future criminal justice professionals. His story and expertise have made him a sought-after speaker, with appearances at numerous universities and conferences, as well as a TED Talk at Arcadia University. He was featured in the film Just Mercy and continues to advocate tirelessly for an equitable and effective justice system. David's life and work embody the power of redemption and the pursuit of justice, making him a deserving recipient of the Distinguished Young Alumnus Award. Please welcome David.
Well, wow. I did write a speech, but I'm a public speaker, so driving here, I was like, okay, that's going out the window. First and foremost, I'd like to thank God, because without him, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't have the story that I have now. There's times people ask me, after knowing everything that's happened in my life, they're like, David, is there anything in your life that you would change? And I'm like, no. Because if you change anything in my life, I'm not who I am today. I don't have the faith I have today. I don't have the passion. I'm not doing the work that I'm doing. So as I was driving here, I'd also like to thank my wife, who's at home with our son, Guy Joshua, who is the epitome of what a second chance looks like. Because if I didn't make parole in 2013, I would still be in prison for 15 more days. So I wouldn't get out until October 27, 2024. But because Brian Stevenson and the Equal Justice Initiative, I was able to make parole in 2013. But when I was in the county jail, I did a lot of reading, Bible and study, and I came across this verse, Ecclesiastes 4:14, that says, "For out of prison he cometh to reign, whereas he who was born in his kingdom becometh poor." Now that reigning, people would think like sitting on the throne, being a crown, being a king, etc. But my idea of that reigning is being in a place like this, being celebrated for the work that I've been able to do. And it's not because of me, it's because of God and the different doors that he's opened. I had the amazing opportunity to be involved with Eastern University's prison education program that Dr. Johnson started in 2015, and she invited me to be involved with then. And this past August, we had our first graduation. So this award right here isn't just about me being a distinguished alumnus. What it is giving those men that are in SCI Chester that just graduated the men that are getting out of SCI Chester. It gives them the knowledge that they are not their past. What are they? We're celebrating homecoming this week, right? They are Eastern graduates. They are to celebrate homecoming with us because they graduated with us. And it's about paving that way for them to let them know Eastern University is going to accept you. Eastern University is going to welcome you. Folks like Mary Gardner, when I came on campus, I heard that she was the person that I needed to talk to become Beaker. So I went over and I talked to her and she's like, hey, we're glad that you're here and your story and it's so incredible. And I can't believe you want to be Beaker, but yes, go ahead. I'm 100% extroverted, so that's fits with me, But in 2008, I met Brian Stevenson. He started working with my brother me. Probably the second or third visit, he started telling me about Eastern University. I was like, wow, that sounds great. It's an amazing place. And then I got the booklet and the pamphlet where it talked about Eastern having a prison ministry and a street ministry. I was like, okay, this is where I want to go. Because it's one thing for a church. It's one thing for a Christian in school to say, hey, we are out there doing this. But Eastern's doing it. They're putting their feet to the gospel. They're putting their feet there, reaching the people who other individuals might not go reach. I had the amazing opportunity to be involved with our prison ministry and go in and to speak to these youth at the Lancaster Youth Intervention Center. One of the amazing things was 3 years after that, I was speaking at Lancaster, at Millersville University in one of the criminal justice classes. And this guy was in the back row and he raised his hand. He's like, hey, I remember when you came into Lancaster Youth Intervention Center. I'm like, wow. The seed that was planted 3 years ago, here he is getting an education because he's been able to see, wow, somebody else was able to do this. Somebody else was able to turn their life around. That's why I love being able to do what I do. That's why I'm so open about my past. Because it's about paving the way. It's about preparing the way for others to follow in that footsteps. This award, when I got the email, I was blown away. But it reminded me of an email I got my first year at Eastern University. I got an email that I found out later, Megan DeCito had put me in for the scholarship, but I got an email saying that I'd been nominated for the Good Citizen Scholarship. If you get that scholarship after doing 13 and a half years in prison, being out only a year, what do you think my reaction was? I was laughing. I'm like, who is gonna think I'm a good citizen? I went to prison for taking the life of the person who abused me and my brother for years, and I've only been out a year. I'm not doing anything. How am I a good citizen? But as I thought about it, and actually I had to Google it to make sure it was a real, legit scholarship. But I was like, okay, this is how I'm gonna write this essay. The first part of the essay was society would not think I'm a good citizen. I went to prison for taking a person's life. Who's gonna think that's a good citizen? But then I spun it in the aspect of me being at Eastern University, talking about my faith, talking about what I wanted to do when I graduated. I was one of 10 recipients of that award. And I found out later that my essay was the only one that was approved by all 3 judges, which blew my mind because I was like, I'm not the best writer, but I think it was really the impact of the story that I had. And it is such an honor to receive this award. I have some of my colleagues over here, Dr. Van Horn and Representative Gina Curry, Dr. Johnson, all really instilled a lot in me as far as criminal justice. So my major, also is an individualized major, is urban studies focusing on criminal justice and social welfare. Can anybody say that 5 times fast? I can't either. But it combines urban studies, criminal justice, and social work all together. And it's allowed me to do the work that I do, where I've worked in reentry. I've done policy work, I'm doing research with Yale and Columbia. And it's just given me this holistic view of the system. I have the PhD in lived experience, being in prison in Alabama, but then also the educational aspect that these amazing scholars gave me. And I'm so also thankful to be involved with the prison education program and helping co-teach. And it's so incredible to walk into those classes every time, because these men see what they can become, and it's so powerful. And then I have some other colleagues, MJ over there, and Megan and Laura. Thank you all for coming out. I definitely appreciate y'all being here. And Eastern University, it has meant so much to me, and that's why I love giving back. And I always tell people, I want to close with this. My past does not define me. My past has educated me. What defines me is what I do today and what I do tomorrow. What I'm doing today is I'm being honored for being a distinguished young alumnus. I love the young aspect because I turned 45 last week, so I'm definitely digging that aspect. But that's what defines me. Not that I went to prison, not that I experienced all this other stuff, but it's about what I'm doing today and taking my story to impact others and to challenge folks and to educate folks. So thank you so much.